문 안쪽 문 안쪽
We start the chapter off with Majima walking around town when he comes across some Awano's boys who are beating up some poor lad who tries to appeal to Majima to save him. But Majima blows him off. He doesn't really want to cause trouble for the Tojo clan because the last time he did that. Majima meets up with Sagawa, and despite spending some time in Kamurocho, they still haven't found any information about Makoto or Tachibana. And by Sagawa's orders, they're not even gonna contact Shimano or let him know what they're doing or that they messed up because, well, Sagawa isn't scared of Shimano, but basically, as it turns out, Shimano's the one who's gonna sell the empty lot to the Omi Alliance. So if Sagawa shows a sense of weakness, that'll give Shimano leverage in the deal. So Sagawa's trying to do his best to avoid that. Majima then asks Sagawa, yo, how do you know all this if he didn't tell you? And then Sagawa's like, I lied. After this, Sagawa tells you a possible location of where Tachibana real estate could be, and you're off. Majima reaches the place, talks with a few residents who tell him that they don't really know anything because things have kind of gone a bit downhill with them, you know? A little bit downhill. So Majima has hit another dead end. So he heads out, but then is stopped by some Shimano thugs who are surprised that he's even in this town. So things escalate, and you end up beating up all of them. But then some more experienced Shimano goons come by, but they don't actually want to fight you. They were instead asked by Shimano to bring Majima to him. Majima can't ignore a direct order from the boss, so he heads on over to where Shimano is. And yeah. Meeting with the man who kind of left you in the torture chamber for like a straight year, little bit awkward. Sagawa shows up shortly and is pretty surprised by the sudden invite. But everyone's here now, so Shimano's ready to talk business. Shimano gets straight to it and asks why Sagawa is in Kamurocho, and well, Sagawa now has to spill the beans that they messed up, and Makoto is now here in Kamurocho. But Shimano's all like,
Oh, そないなことになっとったんか。せやけど安心せえ。全部わしの計画のうちや。何?
And then he proceeds to drop this bombshell.
そもそもな、真島。わしがお前に牧村誠を殺せ言うたんは。お前には殺せんと踏んどったからや。おい。
Shimano's got such a strong grip on Majima that he somehow predicted what he would do. He knows what type of person he is. And the reason he's using them is because, well, Shimano just doesn't like Dojima. He thinks he's dumb and stupid. But he doesn't want Kazuma to get any power because he wants that power for himself. But he can't actually, like, openly mess with Dojima because, like, you know, he's Dojima in the 80s. He's very powerful. But he can use Majima, a Yakuza who was wiped from the Yakuza, in order to do it for him. Also, Shimano is such a mastermind that he predicted Majima and Makoto would fall in love, and through that, Majima could get her to sell the land peacefully and without force. He also used Majima to see who were Kazuma's associates, so he could get rid of them before he took power. This did kind of work because now he knows Sarah is involved with Kazuma. Sagawa mentions that he won't be a problem because he killed him, but then Shimano's like, no, you failed. However, things are still according to plan, because now Shimano can use Sarah to prod at Kazuma. Majima's new objective is to bring Makoto peacefully so he can buy the land off of her, and then Majima will finally be in the Yakuza again. But then Sagawa's all like, yo, where is she though? Then Shimano lets us know that Kiryu has Makoto, so in order to find Kiryu, you should go ask Nishiki, his oath brother. So now we have an objective. However, Majima is just done. Just very done. Knowing that your boss used you in such a personal way, it hurts. He feels like a fool, a clown, a puppet on a string, but he's ready to endure it all. If it means getting back to the Tojo clan, he'll do it. This is exemplified when he comes across some punks who want to beat him up and he just takes it. He doesn't have the energy or the will to fight back. So after taking that beating, we're off to Kazuma's office to go meet up with Nishiki. So you enter the building asking for Nishiki, and the Kazuma goons are getting ready for a fight. But before you get to beat him up, Kashiwagi comes out and tells him not to bother because they're just goons. So Majima points the question to Kashiwagi, but he isn't going to say anything either. So it's fight time, but not yet, because Kashiwagi doesn't want to do it here. I mean, it is his office. I mean, come on, have some respect. We instead go to the roof of some building Kashiwagi just has lying around, and well, bruh, Kashiwagi's ready. So it's fight time!
派手に行こうじゃねえか。追っ始めようぜ、マジマ！行くぞ、マジマ！
Kashiwagi's fighting style is the exact same as a certain boss fight in Yakuza 3, which is a little disappointing, but I'd say it's still a great fight. And getting to fight that fighting style as Majima is a bit of a new experience, so it can kinda be excused. I mean, it's not like 90% of the fights are repeated from previous games, so I think we're good. However, I haven't actually explained or reviewed Yakuza 3, so I think I'd better explain what Kashiwagi's fighting style is like. Kashiwagi's fighting style is precise and powerful. It's best not to mess around with him, or he'll knock you to the ground. You can't really knock him down with your attack combo, so keep that in mind. And also, his QTE transition into heat mode is the single hardest QTE in the game. It's like a straight second to press the button, and if you don't dodge it, you will suffer. This arena is pretty stylish. It reminds me of like that fight where against Leonardo Raphael in the CGI Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the TMNT movie. You know if anyone's seen that. Also, Kashiwagi cannot be grabbed, like at any point. You just straight can't grab him. He will either dismiss it or counter it, so don't grab. So you beat up this monster of a man, and a Kazuma-gun comes up, which Majima uses as an opportunity to ask where Nishikiyama is. And to get his answer, he threatens to cut out one of Kashiwagi's eyes. And well, he's a goon, so he freaks it and tells you where Nishikiyama could be. He could be at Serena, so we gotta go hit that place up. Once you reach Serena, you come across Reina and ask where Nishiki is. And well, Nishiki's right there, so he asks, well, what's the occasion? Majima asks where Kiryu might be, and Nishiki tries to pull a gun, but you know, Majima just slaps that out of his hands. And despite Majima being way stronger, Nishiki ain't backing down from this fight. He's ready to fight for his oath brother, for his blood brother. It's fight time!
なるほど。そういうことかいな。
確かにあんた強えらしい。それでも俺は引くわけにはいかねえんだよ。
The fight starts with one hell of a remix of Nishiki's theme from the previous games. And it's a little bit too strong on the... but it's neat. Nishiki's a pretty slippery snake when it comes to his fighting style. He's got a 4-hit combo and super shields a ton, employing quite a few devilish techniques like a taunt that he will follow up with an attack if you try anything. And he's got a grab that leads into a few playful QTEs. Nishiki doesn't have a QTE transition into heat, but he does have some QTEs where Reina could hit you with a bottle. Or one where Nishiki might get a health drink. You can interrupt him and drink that thing yourself, so. You're fighting in a bar, so you don't have much space to maneuver, but there is a lot of household furniture to beat him with. So you beat up Nishiki and you ask again for where Kiryu and Makoto might be, and Reina decides to spill the beans by telling Majima that they they lost her and they don't know where she is. So Niski takes the liberty of recapping everything which happened in the last chapter, and because of that, they don't really know where she is. So they ask Majima to help find her, so we're off to find Makoto. We're not really given an objective marker here, but in order to end the chapter, you have to head over to the empty lot. So if you head over there, at some point, Majima decides to go to that place, and once you do, you end up finding Makoto at the roof of a building. So you head up there, and it turns out she's regaining sight somehow, and there's somewhat of a melancholic feeling in the air, and the chapter ends there. This is one of my favorite chapters in the game. Shimano was one of the best characters from the first game, so seeing him again is pretty cool. And expanding on Majima's relationship to Shimano brings a lot of weight to Shimano as this really scary and manipulative guy, like just a big snake. But the biggest reason why this chapter is one of my favorites is because you get to fight 2 boss fights back to back, which is rad. On to the next chapter. The chapter begins with Makoto explaining that she can see, but not good enough to make out faces per se. The reason she got her vision back is because she was so shocked by her brother's death that she regained vision. Now, I'm not a doctor or a dermatologist, but yeah, I don't actually know if that's possible. But despite regaining her vision, no matter how close she got to her brother's face, she couldn't make it out. Christ, you poor girl. Because of that, she's gone off the deep end and wants to murder Dojima and his lieutenants. And she asked Majima to do it for her. Majima's just pretty perplexed at this because he thought everything would be smooth from here on out. He just asked her to give it over and she'd give it over, but now she wants him to kill the Dojima and the Dojima lieutenants. That's asking a lot, and also will probably get her killed, so he kind of wants her to calm down a bit, but she can't bottle up her emotions. She just lets it all out and tries to leave, but then she trips when Majima catches her. Majima just wants her to calm down a bit and think rationally before she does anything she might regret, so he invites her out to eat. And what else to eat than some good old takoyaki, to just talk and calm down and reevaluate the situation. She reluctantly agrees and off they go. So this section of the game is pretty unique because it's a walking segment in Yakuza. Now it's truly next gen. Yeah, but for all my kidding, it is rather nice. Makoto can see, but she ain't exactly running at full speed. So Majima decides to take a walking pace while with her. Just wants to be a bit of a gentleman, but he's in reality not being much of a gentleman because he is walking, but he's walking way faster than Makoto and she just keeps falling on her face, just bong. So, not sure what good Majima is really doing here. They arrive at a place with takoyaki, but bro's got a super long line. But Makoto actually knows of another place she passed by, so we go there. We get there, and man, this cutscene that follows is just really heartwarming. I will say, Majima Makoto's romance is a little bit underdeveloped, but this is a really nice scene. We got this nice lady just cooking some takoyaki for them, and Makoto just kind of reflecting on everything Majima's done for her. Just Majima's she's kind of being a little bit of a goof. We got these leaves floating around. It's a really good scene with a nice piano track backing it. I don't know, it's just too bad it ain't part of the soundtrack. It's a moment to calm down and just relax before it all goes down. Despite this, Majima and Makoto still aren't on the best of terms. She still wants to get revenge on the Dojima family, yet she won't tell you how she plans to do it. She does, however, want some more takoyaki, so Majima offers to go get it for her. The nice lady working at the stand gives you a pack on the house. Nice. So you go back to the bench, but she isn't there. Instead, a homeless man is there to tell you that she will be waiting at the roof of the building near the empty lot where you met last time. and the man wants the takoyaki. So you give the man the takoyaki for his information, and it immediately transitions to tomorrow and you're in Shimano's office. So from here on out, you're headed off to that building. So once you're at the roof of that building, you start to realize that, oh, Makoto isn't here. Instead, some Shibusawa thugs show up to kill you. Turns out, Makoto got in touch with Shibusawa to sell off the land to Dojima and told Shibusawa where Majima was gonna be. We got stabbed in the back. Majima still wants to protect Makoto though, so he decides to just annihilate these dudes to get info where she could be. So it's fight time.
Huh? あの子はどこにおんねや!
This is a pretty big group battle, and a lot of them have weapons, so crowd control is key, or else they are gonna control crowd you. Majima manages to beat all of them up, and one of them cracks and says that Makoto is headed over to the Sebastian building. What is the Sebastian building? Well, it's a building. That's about it. But it's the building where Dojima, Shibusawa, Amano, the whole Dojima family is gonna be to meet with Makoto about this deal. So we gotta go head over there. Oh, and keep in mind, this is gonna be a big level, and the chapter will end after it, so do what you must and get what you must. We cut to Makoto at this funeral looking place with all the major Dojima players there. Dojima, Laogui, each of the lieutenants, but Shibusawa ain't a lieutenant no more. He has become the captain of the Dojima family. So now, why did Makoto stab you in the back? And why is she meeting with Dojima over this? And why is she willing to give the land to him? Well, this is where her plan for revenge plays in. AKA, Makoto is willing to offer the land for the low price of each of the heads of the lieutenants.
ただし、これまで殻の一坪に関係してきた若頭補佐のお三方。
Kill him, but she ain't messing around. Then after this, we cut to Majima entering the building, and there's some goons ready to stop us, and Majima disposes of them. And reaches the funeral looking place and sees Makoto just get shot by Laogui. This sends Majima into a fierce rage, but before he can beat up the major Dojima boys, they escape in a helicopter that's giving me some Metal Gear Solid 4 flashbacks. And before he can reach them, a huge crowd of Dojima thugs appear. So yeah, Majima gets ready. This is a huge group battle, so crowd control is even more important here than ever. This is where beating money out of enemies is at its best. There's so many foes, so seeing all the dollars and coins and yens flying everywhere is a very crunchy sight. The arena here is just, kind of perfect. It's kind of like we're at Makoto's funeral. Majima's like conviction to fight for her life is awe-inspiring. Once you beat up a certain number of goons, a really big goon steps up and he super guards most of your attacks and can drop kick you, so this guy's a little bit dangerous, so watch yourself. So once you manage to beat up nearly everyone around you, you're still left with one nearly dead Makoto. In her dying moments, she explains why she got shot in a little bit more detail. It amounts to Makoto won't be a problem to the renovation project if she's dead, so she got shot. Like, yeah, Makoto's the owner of the lot, but if Dojima just does his plan and she's dead, then she can't take it to court, so the plan will never be screwed, and yeah, so she gets shot. Majima prays for someone to help her, for anyone, please. And then Sarah shows up. His men take off with her, but so does Majima because they're taking her to the hospital. Makoto is rushed into the emergency room, while we're left hanging with this heartbreaking shot of Majima kneeling outside the door, face full of anguish.
望みは俺が叶えとるから。せやから頼む頼む。
The chapter ends here. This chapter is just one heartbreak after another, and no one gets a break here. Yeah, Majima's been on quite a ride, and nearly everyone who has helped him has ended up dead, similar to Makoto. It's time to put an end to this.